Here at Wilson Avenue and Garrett Boulevard, where hundreds of cars pass down every single day, this quiet corner of the city has become an unintended hotspot for illegal dumping, a problem that goes beyond aesthetics. It is an issue of public health, environmental damage, and community respect. Our team went down to the location where, in 2023, an article released by CBC highlights this neighborhood issue of illegal dumping.
The dump as well too, but had referred us to the neighbor across the street. So I spoke to the neighbor across the street. The neighbor also declined to be on video or do any audio interviews, but we did speak a little bit about the issue. And from that neighbor's perspective, the dumping issue is just something that was sort of normalized and something that the owner just seemed to accept over the years. The owner had been there for over 10 years. The owner as well to remember that there was a donation box where that dumping site was, and he believes that that may be the source or the reason why that people constantly are dumping garbage there, but we weren't able to verify this donation box. So those were two of the main houses that were on Garrett Boulevard, and then some of the other houses on Garrett and Regent Road. Basically, all the owners declined to be on video or audio as well too. Some owners were willing to just give their thoughts about the issue. Like the second homeowner, is just a sense of normalization. A lot of the homeowners as well too have contacted the city about this issue, but they just feel like nothing has been done ultimately, or if something or if it does get cleaned up, then it just goes back to what it was before. So there's a sense of hopelessness and normalization when it comes to the dump. If they do contact the city, they feel like nothing is being done about it, essentially. But ultimately, the neighbors in the immediate area declined to speak with us. Neighbors referred us to other neighbors as well too, but ultimately those neighbors that we referred to declined, and no one was willing to participate by video or audio. The only stakeholder that was willing to speak to us was James Pasternak. He was very happy to speak to us. We also tried to contact the Wilson BIA, the Business Improvement Area. We had reached out to one of the members. That member had reached back and said that they were too busy to do the interview, but referred us to another member. We reached out to that next member, but that second member didn't reach back to us.
We have scheduled an interview with City Councilor James Pasternak, and we decided to go back to the location where dumps were located. And in our surprise, we found that everything was cleaned and there's no traces of trashes at all.
So how prevalent is the issue of illegal dumping in the neighborhood, specifically Garrett and Wilson?
Well, illegal dumping is a problem across the city. So these are what they are. They're criminal elements who have taken an obligation to move landfill by dump truck out of a certain area where they're building, and they're supposed to put it into a proper dumping area where they pay a fee and they dump it where it can be treated or whether it can be buried. What's happening now is we're seeing more and more dump trucks dropping their load illegally on private property or on city property. So we've seen it at Wilson Heights in Dresden, where they've dumped on city land there. We've seen it at Kiel and Shepherd, where they've dumped land. They've done illegal dumping. This is mostly landfill. This is dirt, piles of untreated dirt, usually unsafe.
25 million tons, that's how much municipal waste Canada gets rid of a year. Industrial, institutional, commercial mostly. Too big a number to grasp? Try this one. It amounts to 700 kilograms per person per year, not recycling, garbage. 2012 was the last time comparisons were published of countries with similarly advanced economies and urbanization. Canada was producing more waste per person than any of them, including the U.S.
So what measures has the city implemented to combat illegal dumping, and how effective have they been?
Well, it's against bylaw. The fines can be very stiff. I believe up to $10,000 for illegal dumping. Enforcing that is very difficult because it's very hard to find the perpetrators. Many of the illegal dumping is done in the wee hours of the morning, like 3 or 4 in the morning when nobody's around, there's no witnesses. So other than the fines that we can levy and the charges that we can lay, there's no other real options. Now, I should say that private property owners if they can find the perpetrators, they might be able to have them charged with trespass and also some criminal behavior of illegal dumping.
So what challenges does the city face in enforcing laws against illegal dumping?
Well, we only have bylaw enforcement. We have property standards, so our bylaw officers have to investigate. It's a slow, arduous process. We need lots of evidence to press charges. We have to be absolutely sure who did it, who the perpetrators were, and we have to make sure the courts agree. So that's the challenges that we face. And then if we give them a fine, we have to make them pay. So the wheels of justice move very slowly. It's probably the best way to answer that. And these investigations take a long time. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of evidence that has to be compiled. So those are the barriers to enforcement. But that doesn't mean we give up. We have to still work on it.
So do you think the penalties are sufficient enough? Do you think the penalties are sufficient enough that are currently in place?
Well, I don't think they are. I mean, the fine is one thing. Maybe you need when it's very egregious. Maybe you need a prison sentence. We need better investigative tools. I think your idea of some cameras is a good idea in areas where there's a lot of dumping problems. Someone driving around with a dump truck at 3 in the morning is usually looking for a place to illegal dump. Of course, there's homeowners too, like individuals who dump their personal belongings or their mattresses. That's illegal dumping as well. So better enforcement, bigger fines. If you're going to dump toxic waste or things that are dangerous to public safety, then maybe prison sentences are in order.
Okay. So are there any upcoming initiatives or policies to help address the illegal dumping issue?
Right now, we're just going to remain with our current fines and charges and clean it up as quickly as we can. We should be reviewing this policy to make sure it's effective and make sure that it's a deterrent to get people to stop illegal dumping. So it's a work in progress. I'm certainly going to be working with our city staff to have it reviewed and make sure there's stricter consequences for that, and that we can we can prevent it and we can clean it up as quickly as possible.
A week after, we are back here at Wilson and Garrett, and as you can see, there's no progress on the illegal dumping. The area is still clean as of the moment.